Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm Angel with Burger Motorsports. In today's video, we're throwing it back to the Mazdas. As you can see, I am strapped down. The Mazda 3 on the dyno. This car has been in the fleet for about 5 years now, and we've seen all the love and support for this platform. So for this video, we're throwing on the JB4, and we'll show you in real time the power gains across the board.
The fuel kit is on there, but we're just doing that to monitor and make sure that there's 91 or E30. Once we go up and install the JB4 and do the maps and go through all of them, for now, that's the only thing that's installed on the car. It's otherwise stock intake, no JB4, nothing else on it. We're gonna go do some baselines, show you guys the JB4 install, how you do it, test that. Then after, we're gonna install the intake and we'll show you guys all the results and all the numbers and the deltas that you're gonna get between the maps. Get to work.
Let's get to work. Here's a completely stock baseline run on a Mazda 3. With 91 octane in the tank, 202 wheel horsepower, 274 wheel torque.
That's a pretty good baseline on 91 octane, 203 horsepower, 275 wheel torque. I was pretty curious since it's been a long time since I've actually had this car on the dyno and doing some numbers and tuning on it. So I just had to go over and check the specs. From factory, 2.5 liter turbo, 4-banger, 250 horsepower, and 320 foot-pounds of torque. Quite a bit off of that, you know, I'd say maybe around 20% off, I guess, at least on horsepower side. But that's usually the drivetrain loss that you get with all-wheel drive, so it seems pretty on par. This is the most we can do. There's nothing else to do besides the baseline, so I'm just gonna get started, go ahead and install the JB4, and let's see what we can do going up the maps. Yo, Angel, follow me. Let's go get a JB4. This is our slew of JB4s. This is our ready to ship shelf. Let's see, Mazda, cool. Mazda CX-90, Mazda V1, Mazda V2. This is what we need. Here we go. Now let's open up the JB4 box and see what you guys get straight from us out of your shipment. Get a nice little JB4 thank you for your purchase card. Flight tag, red keychain. Got some JB4 Tune stickers. Last but not least, the JB4 system. This is the OBD for CAN bus communication, billet case, and our wiring harness. People ask, is the JB4 equipped to change maps? Are you able to? How do you do it? Etc., etc. And of course, with this little device called the Bluetooth Pro add-on, this connects to the JB4 board itself, and with the free JB4 Pro app that you get from your app store, you're able to connect, change maps on the fly, live data with the gauges, and other options that you need when you're fine-tuning the car. Anyway, it comes with the preloaded maps, so you really don't need to do anything. But for you guys that love to tinker and know how to read and evaluate your own logs, we do have a custom Map 6 profile where you're able to do anything that you'd like. Anyways, enough of me yapping. Let's go ahead and install the JB4 on the car. The JB4 is really simple to install. Anybody can realistically do it themselves. Just place the system right here. Then we're gonna start with the first connections. We have PDF pictures online as well. Videos are always a lot more helpful. Remove the OEM connector, put it into the BMS JB4 connector, and finish the loop. Male to female, just like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and do that to the other connectors as well, and just follow it along. Right under the intake, we're gonna do the same thing. Pull it off, and then finish the loop, going back into the sensor. Remove the engine cover, and we're gonna find the T-map sensor right on the intake manifold. We're gonna do the same thing. Unclip, install into the JB4 harness, just like that. The last connection point is the OBD, which can be routed two ways. You can route it through the door jamb or go through the firewall under the car where your pedals are and feed it through. Again, like I said, we have pictures online for PDF, but because this was already previously installed, I'm not gonna go through it and show you guys because that's just boring. We already have it ready to go. Align the tabs, and there you go. That's the last connection point needed for the JB4. Now let's go ahead, turn on the car, connect again, and we'll run map 1. Now that we have the JB4 connected, let's go through the app real quick just to show you how these settings work. We're gonna go ahead, click connect, and just like that, all the data appears. You can go ahead and customize. Obviously, some gauges won't work, like ignition 5, because this is a 4-cylinder car. There's not 5 cylinders, you won't get timing on that, you know? MAF sensor 2, etc., etc. So some of these parameters will not work. It's platform dependent. And save it how you like it. You're able to change the dials like I have based on a round gauge, regular, value number.
Here is JB4 map 1 on 91 octane. Here we are in JB4 map 1 on 91 octane, 226 wheel horsepower, 316 wheel torque.
So now that we're moving up, I need to add some E85 so we can get that octane up to E20 and then eventually to E30 for map 3. However, we have a full tank, so we need to go ahead and remove some fuel. I have ways of doing that, but while I'm there, I'll go ahead and show you guys our flex fuel kit. This is the flex fuel kit. You can see our BMS crimped PTFE stainless steel, nylon braided, crimped line. Goes all the way down to the OEM fuel feed. That's where the Bluetooth ethanol sensor and all that is mounted. PDF guide, you can go and check it out. That is where I'm going to tee off to get some fuel out of there. Throw it in one of the tanks, pull about 5 gallons in there so I can go ahead, put some ethanol, and we can bring that octane up. Now that we got the T on there, I'm gonna install this dash 4 line. So how it works is basically it just tees off the pressure. The fuel pump is pumping into the engine, and then at that point, it's teeing off and bleeding off whatever doesn't go back into the engine. So we'll be getting a little bit of flow, and we'll be emptying out the tank that way, or just taking a couple gallons out. We are done. We got about 2 gallons in here right now. Did exactly what we needed. We're at basically 3/4 of a tank, which is more than enough that we need to put some E85 in there and bring the octane up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start removing this and going back to how it was. Okay, we just finished siphoning the tank. Now we filled up with a gallon of E85. That's gonna get us to the E20 mix. I'm gonna run the car a couple times and I'll show you guys in real time the ethanol content going up as the fuel starts priming and going through the lines. Cool.
Well, as you can tell, it's a brand new day. Last night I ended up getting caught up with the C801. If you haven't seen that video, I'll drop a link down below to go take you to that video. Definitely go watch it. It's absolutely insane. It's the first and only C8ZR1 tuned in the world. But to catch up on last night, Pyam ended up doing a couple runs on 91 and E20, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you the results from that. So here we go on the dynos. You can see JB4 Map 1 made 226 wheel horsepower and 316 wheel torque, and JB4 Map 2 on 93 octane made 237 wheel horsepower, 352 wheel torque.
I'm just reviewing the logs from last night. The Map 2 log looks good. I know you guys are asking, how do we get 93? Like you guys saw, I added a little bit of E85. That will bring the octane up to 93 for you guys in the Midwest, Mid-East, anywhere besides California that has 93 octane. You're able to do Map 3, or for us, we just have to use a little blend of ethanol. Anyways, before we go up to Map 3, I believe we're hitting a big restriction, the intake. With the OEM intake, we're not able to make any more power. At this point, we need to go ahead, put our BMS intake and inlet on before we can move up to E30 and Map 3. So let's go ahead, show you guys our intake, our inlet, and I'll talk a little more about that as soon as I take the stock one out. So before I go ahead and pull the intake off, I wanted to talk about a new thing that we've been testing. It is called the IAT spoof. We do it with different platforms. We either raise the IAT, lower the IAT. That will help with timing advance and getting more boost out of the car. So it's like a little trick we have up our sleeve to extract a little bit more power. We're gonna have a nice do-it-yourself kit. We'll release that soon. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more updates. In front of me, I have the BMS Stage 1 and Stage 2 Mazda V2 intake and inlet. And of course, the OEM Mazda intake. People always ask, why are you so different? Why do you claim so much gains versus the other competitors? And because the other competitors only replace this portion of the intake, which is not really cutting out the restriction. The restriction is right here. Let me show you guys. We're starting from 2 1/4, and it goes and pancakes down to basically 1 inch to 1.5 inches. I mean, at this point right here, I don't even know what they were thinking. It is literally crushed. You're not gonna get any airflow through here. Of course, it's plastic, so it's much thicker than aluminum, so your ID is a lot smaller. You're not gonna get any volume of air through this. You can see the pancake portion where it's literally flat, and as well as a divider inside. That is going to cause turbulence. It's basically a silencer so you do not hear your intake. You know, over here at BMS, we're looking for the most gains and power and to reliably modify your car. You can see we have a full 2.5 inch pipe going all the way down to the OEM intake tube. This will allow us to get maximum airflow and volume to the turbo without any restriction. People ask, is 2.5 enough? In our N54, we're making over 800 wheel on twins utilizing 2.5 inch inlets. We know that this 2.5 inch pipe is going to flow more than enough for what the Mazda can output. So after our competitors saw our results and saw that everybody was basically just getting our intake, they decided to copy us, make a plastic inlet, which plastic is cool, but over time it becomes brittle, especially when it's attached to a hot turbo. This is going to last the lifetime of the car. Last but not least, we have the upgraded Stage 2 piping. This will allow for cooler air when you're in a climate that does not see too much rain. We've had this on plenty of cars that see tons of rain. As long as you don't go any puddles, you don't ever have to worry. This option is upgradable from Stage 1 to Stage 2. You can go and add this pipe if you didn't already get the Stage 2 from the get-go. If you decided down the line you wanted a Stage 2, it's fully compatible, no changes needed. We'll give you the extra hardware and the piping to go along with it. Enough of me yapping as usual. I'm gonna go ahead and install this on the car, and let's dyno the results. Now that we got the intake on, I want to talk about our proprietary intake, our filters. These are our oiled filters. They are proprietary for us. S&B makes them. For this platform, it comes in either blue or red. Pick your poison based on whatever color you'd like with your car. We're almost basically done with this install. Beautiful. Now that's done, we're going to plug in the mass airflow sensor into the JB4 and back, routing everything the same way we had it earlier.
Here's JB4 Map 2 on 93 octane with an intake. And here are the results from Map 2 on 93 octane with an intake, 255 wheel horsepower, 355 wheel torque.
Now that the intake is installed and you guys heard the sweet, intoxicating sounds, we're going to move on to the next map. Since we've been doing ongoing research and development, we wanted to present to you the new plug-and-play Mazda methanol kit. That's going to allow us to get cooler IATs, higher octane, more fuel volume, and along with all that, we're able to push the car a lot more. So I'm going to go ahead and start installing that before we do map 7, methanol map, and we can get more gains from there. This is our BMS plug-and-play billet meth adapter. It will take in place of the charge air temp sensor. This is the OEM temp sensor. We're going to undo this install it in here. The temperature will go through these small holes, and the meth will spray through here and through here. So let's go ahead and start getting this ready so we can install into the car. I'm going to go ahead and take these off. You're going to unscrew, remove the plate. Make sure you keep the washer on there. That's what's going to crush and help make it seal. We're going to go ahead and install it onto the adapter. And then from there, we'll go ahead and install our adapter feed. So this is going to come either NPT to -4AN or a 1/4-inch compression fitting, depending on which option you choose on the BMS website. Now, make sure you have Teflon tape on every NPT port. You need to make sure you install this in the correct orientation. This is the feed and this is the outlet. You can see the small nozzle hole that needs to be facing out. So we're going to go ahead and make sure it's installed in the correct orientation so we get a good mist flow pattern. This makes everything a lot easier, so you don't need a whole new charge pipe, you don't need anything to tap, just literally purchase the kit, plug and play, easy to remove, easy to install. You can't get any better than this in my opinion. We just finished getting the methanol rigged up. I know, it's very ghetto. But for time purposes and to save, going back and forth off the dyno, I don't want to rig it under the car and stuff since this is not permanent. This is just testing, development, to make sure we get all the data for you guys to see. This is one of our stealth 2.5 gallon kits. This is for the G80, but it doesn't matter. We got our meth pump, wired everything in to the fuse box with the plug and play FSB. This is called the water meth injection fail-safe box. This attaches to the JB4. It gets controlled through there. Then we attach everything to the pump, to the solenoid, and to the methanol adapter, as you can see right below here. Another thing I did not talk about, for the IAT sensor, we do include an extension so you don't have to yank on your cord and pull it all the way up. So now I'm going to go ahead and purge the system to make sure that we have methanol primed through the lines to the solenoid, all that into the injector. We're connected to the JB4. Make sure you're on map 7, which is the water meth safety map. It will communicate with the FSB. It'll make sure there's meth flow, and if there isn't any, it's going to kick you into a safety map. Here's how we purge it. You'll go into the water meth injection purge. Ignition is on. I have this going to a water bottle. I'm going to click send now. And just like that, we got some flow. I'm going to click it again so you guys can see how much comes out of that. Obviously, there's no nozzle right now, but we got everything connected properly. So now let's go ahead and do a run and see what gains we can get with the water meth injection, 93 octane, our intake on map 7.
Here's JB4 map 7 with methanol.
And that's it. We're gonna wrap it up for now. This is the most that we've ever seen from a Mazda 3, at least with the JB4 on our side with the stock turbo. So from factory, it came with 202 wheel horsepower and 275 wheel torque. That is what we baselined yesterday on this car. With the additional mods, the JB4, stage 1 high flow intake, and our water meth kit, we made a staggering 255 wheel horsepower and 368 wheel torque. Temps are cool, and we're on a low load dyno, so we won't see true gains here because the ECU is not pulling timing right now. But on a warm day or on 91 octane, water meth injection will make a huge difference. We'll run it again during the summer to showcase it. Over 50 wheel horsepower gain and 90 wheel torque gains from these simple mods. Everything is fully reversible, nothing is modified, fabricated, everything can go back to the way it was when you're done modding this car and you want to get rid of it. Anyways, that's some crazy power. I know you guys have seen the merch. We've got lots of merch, the hat, the sweater, and I see you guys lurking. You guys do not subscribe, so that's what we need to change. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Let us know what you'd like to see next with this Mazda or with the other platforms that we tend to. Anyways, we'll see you guys later. Peace.